Now we have Valentine's Day in the middle of the month, and it is not your typical Valentine's lovey-dovey energy this year. Welcome back, Astro fam, to your February relationship focused Astro forecast video. Today, we're going to be breaking down the astro weather of the month ahead. I have my board here, and I'm so grateful that you guys love when I use this as much as I do. I find it's the easiest way for me to put the planets up one by one, help you understand what each life coach, it's what I call each planet, is teaching us for the month ahead. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Mandy Rose. I'm a relational astrologer, which essentially means that when I'm talking about the current cosmic weather or your birth chart in a private reading, I am helping you understand it through the lens of having better relationships. So in today's video, this is what the format's going to look like. You can go to the timestamps below and skip to the part that's of most interest to you, but I highly suggest you watch the entire video. I organize them in a way to help you make best sense. So we always start out with the general overview. What can we anticipate? What is the energy that we're actually moving into February with? Then I'm going to put each planet on this board one by one. So if you have your birth chart handy, you may want to use it for that part of the video because I'll be explaining what area of the sky each planet is traveling through. Then I will do my favorite part of my videos, and that's my top five, my 5 facts, 5 fun things that are happening for the month ahead, things that I'm looking forward to or going to be paying special attention to as a relational astrologer. Then we're going to be doing our date by date breakdown. So in that part of the video, if you have your calendar or maybe you have your astrology alchemy journal, pull that out because I'll be doing a week by week overview and helping you understand what each week of February is going to have in store for us, and especially highlighting a little bit about Valentine's Day. And then at the end of the video, I go through the rising sign breakdown. Now, in the rising sign portion of the video for the month ahead of February, this month we're going to be focusing on the relationships in your life that are associated with the Aquarius area of your life. So depending on your rising sign, wherever Aquarius falls in your chart, those relationships are going to be most impacted by the planets this month. And you'll understand why as we move through this video. So with all that being said, if you need help pulling up your birth chart, I personally use whole sign systems. I find it's most accurate through all the hundreds of readings I've done. And if you want help breaking that down and understanding that or how to look up your chart, I have a separate video on this channel. I'll link it in the description box below. So let's do a really quick overview. What can we expect for the month of February? Well, first things first, if you have fixed energy in your chart, that means if you're a Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, or Leo rising, or maybe you have a lot of planets in one of these 4 zodiac signs, you're going to have your typical fixed, stuck, permanent energy rattled up a little bit this month. So maybe you like to be very consistent. Well, this month, the planets are going to be shaking up that fixed, stuck, stagnant energy that we've been carrying for a long time. So you're going to be most impacted this month with those rising signs. But for all of us, there's going to be a part of our life that has been set up the way it's been set up for quite some time that's going to get a little jolt, a little shake up by the end of the month. Now, we start out the month with a lot of leftover energy from January. We are already in Aquarius season, and Aquarius is the energy in the sky, the energy we're feeling here on Earth, and the area of life, depending on your birth chart, that is going to be very, very heavily impacted. So if you have your birth chart handy or you know where Aquarius falls in your chart, you want to put a big old star, circle it over and over again. We have 6 planetary energies moving into that sign in the next 3 weeks. So as we move into February, we already have the Sun and Pluto there. They moved into Aquarius together back on January 20th. This was really an opportune time for us to really set our intentions and to move forward. When we look at the energy of Aquarius, out of all 12 zodiac signs, Aquarius is the energy of the future. It's our goals, it's our dreams, it's our visions, it's that innovation, it's the movement of energy towards something and leaving the rest behind. So Pluto is going to be journeying through this area of our life, through this area of the sky for 2 decades. 2 decades. And he entered into this energy this year in 2024 with the sun. So the sun's like, let's heat it up, right? Let's shine a light upon it. Let's bring some vitality to this thing that we're going to be doing for the next 2 decades of our life. And now we have each planet one by one, Mercury, Mars, Venus, and the moon moving into Aquarius, meeting up with Pluto and the sun and saying, hey, what are we doing? Where are we going? What's the plan? What's the vision? What's the future going to look like? That is the vibe and the energy we're moving into February with, and it's only going to get stronger and stronger by the time we get to the end of the month. Now we have Valentine's Day in the middle of the month, and it is not your typical Valentine's lovey-dovey energy this year. Now, also, we're going to have a new moon in Aquarius this month, and that new moon falls on February 10th in the zodiac sign of Aquarius. And that date is also the Lunar New Year, the Chinese New Year, the celebration of the moon cycle. And we're moving into the year of the dragon. And so that is very impactful because the Lunar New Year is the new moon in Aquarius in 2024. And it's also the year that all these planets are moving through Aquarius at that exact same time. So it only amplifies the newness and the new beginning of this new chapter that we're really starting right now. So much more on that in this video, but definitely important to recognize. Now, as we move to the middle of the month, just past the 9th, after that new moon, we move into the week of Valentine's Day. Now, I'm making a separate video for all my lovers, so make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, come back within the next week to catch that Valentine's Day energy video, because relationships this year for Valentine's Day are not going to be the vibe. It's not going to be the vibe. So whether you're single, going on dates, you're in a situationship, you are dating someone, newly or for a long time, you're married, like whatever your relationship status is, it's going to be shaken up a little bit. We got a lot of volatility, a lot of heat, a lot of intensity, a lot of passion, which can be exciting, but also toxic. We got a lot going on around Valentine's Day. So I'm going to help you navigate that relationally in that video. So make sure you come back for that one. Now, as we move through the rest of the month, we're going to have that full moon in Virgo. That is a huge full moon. This year, that full moon in Virgo is preparing us for the next eclipse cycle, giving us an opportunity to say, hey, let me release, let go, remove, edit out something in my life by my own free will, what I notice is, sabotaging me. Because if I don't do it now, the eclipses are going to force it and rip it out of my hand. And that's going to be a lot less comfortable. So big full moon for us at the end of the month. And then we end February with leap year, with a leap year energy. This is such an exciting energy for us to navigate through because leap years happen on the 29th of the month. 2 + 9 = 11. 11 is, a master number. It also looks like a gate. It's a portal. We walk through the portal, through the gate in this opportune time at the end of February. So I'll talk more about that in this video as well. On that date as well, we're going to have the Sun and Mercury and Saturn come together, conjunct, a triple conjunction. Also very powerful energy. You guys know, if you follow my videos, I talk a lot about looking for threes in astrology. When we notice retrogrades, it's a planet going 1, 2, 3 times over the same part of the sky. Very important to pay attention to. And when we have 3 planets in the sky coming together at the same time, also very important. 3 is a holy number. It's a sacred number. All religions, all spiritualities acknowledge this fact. So leap year has this triple conjunction energy, asking us to step into something, to be responsible with Saturn involved, be our own tough love dad, commit to something, become disciplined to something, create structure around something. And the Sun is going to heat that up, and Mercury is going to have our mind saying, what is it we need to do? And how do we need to take action? Let's strategize, right? Let's find the information to move forward. So it's quite the month. The last overview for us to pay attention to as I start putting all the planets on this map here is the fact that for most month forecasts, if you've been around for a while, you know that we typically highlight a couple of the planets, a couple of the life coaches. But this month in February, every single planet is active. It's a participant. It's involved. It's teaching us lessons. Their energy is potent. Everyone except for Neptune. So typically I don't really talk a lot about Pluto because he's slow moving, just kind of doing what he's doing. But this month, he's the main character. So that is a total shift of energy than what we're used to on a typical monthly overview. Now, also Chiron. Chiron's kind of slow moving. He's been in Aries for quite some time. We talk about him every once in a while. This month, he's also involved, but in a powerful way, running into the North Node, our destiny, moving forward on healing something. Big energy that we're also not used to in a typical month. And we don't usually talk about Uranus either, because Uranus, unless he's being stimulated or activated by someone else, he's kind of just doing his own thing. But this month, all the personal planets from the sun, the moon, Mercury, Mars, and Venus are all rattling Uranus to shake us awake, to jolt us into the future. So lots going on. Neptune is the quiet planet, which is, interesting because Neptune is the dreamer, asking us to have faith, asking us to trust, asking us to believe, asking us to be connected to the divine. And so he's kind of running in the background, and we're having on Earth as souls to really tap into that without the assistance of Neptune. So big, big things for us for the month ahead. So let's go ahead and put each planet up on the chart one by one, focusing on where they're going to be in the sky for the month of February. Also talking about the lessons they're trying to teach us as they navigate that energy. And if you have your birth chart handy, go ahead and grab it, a pen and paper, ready to take notes. And also don't forget that whomever is your primary life coach, what do I mean by that? Based on your rising sign, you have a primary planet ruler. That planet is the planet you want to pay a special attention to at any point in time because they're the one teaching you the lessons the most throughout your life. So we're going to start out with the sun, remembering that the sun brings heat, brings life, brings vitality. When you go outside and you feel the sun on your skin, you can feel that energy penetrating you, penetrating into your soul. So whatever zodiac sign, whatever energy the sun currently is in, is the energy that is penetrating to us here on Earth that we're feeling and having to flow with to move through. So the sun, as we move on to February 1st, is in the zodiac sign of Aquarius. We are in the middle of Aquarius season. The sun has been here since January 20th. So this energy is very potent. The sun is at 11 degrees on the 1st of February. Now, the sun is going to move through Aquarius. When we get to the 19th of the month, the sun will move into Pisces, moving us into the final season of the astrological year. But as the sun is in Aquarius, what is this energy? What is this potency that we're feeling, that we're working with, that we're flowing through, heating up the Aquarius area of our life? Aquarius is innovative, right? It's an air sign. So it's all about thinking about the future, discovering things, analyzing things, opening up our mind to things. It's this rebellious, unconventional, authentic kind of energy. So as the sun is in Aquarius right now, we're going to be feeling this desire or need to step into what we want for the future in an authentic way, by discovering ourselves, by investigating things, by asking questions. There's going to be a lot of stimulation around getting us out of the box in a creative, problem-solving way. As the sun moves through this energy, we can expect a lot of advancements in science, technology, groups and communities, collectives of people getting, a lot more attention. So a lot of that happens with the sun in Aquarius. Now, when the sun moves into Pisces on the 19th, like I mentioned, we're moving into the astrological ending of the year. And Pisces is about purging, releasing, letting go, detoxing, clarifying. When we get to the sun season of Pisces, you want to make sure you have time for rest, for retreating, for purging things in your house. A lot of tears and emotions and internal stuff can surface to be kind of refreshed and let go of. Aquarius season is about being inventive and solving problems and thinking about your future and being very, authentic to your truth. And then Pisces season, we shift into water, emotions. So pay attention to that. And let's go ahead and talk about the lunations of the month. The first one being the new moon. The new moon is going to be on the 9th, and it's at 20 degrees of Aquarius. And it's also the day of, like I mentioned, the Chinese Lunar New Year. So big, powerful day. There's going to be a lot of energy involved with Uranus shaking things up, lots of other planets visiting Aquarius, a total separate video on that. But this is an energy you really want to focus on, that new beginning, that new fresh start. Where are we going? What are we doing? How do we need to shake up this fixed Aquarius area of our life and really start fresh for the next 2 decades? So really paying attention to this new moon. Now, the full moon at the end of the month on the 24th is going to be a full moon in Virgo. So when we get to that full moon, it's happening at 5 degrees of Virgo. And what we have to remember is this is the final full moon in the zodiac energy of Virgo, wherever that falls in your birth chart, whatever area of life that full moon will be illuminating and highlighting and asking you to release something in. This is the final full moon in Virgo that will not be an eclipse for 3 years. Because the nodal points, the north node currently in Aries, will move into Pisces at the end of the year, and the south node in Libra will move into Virgo at the end of the year. And so by the time we get to this full moon in Virgo next year in the spring of 2025, it will be an eclipse. So what does this mean? This full moon in Virgo, you want to pay attention to what you are choosing by your own free will to release and let go in preparation for the eclipses coming in next year. Because if you don't do it on your own accord this year, the eclipses will force you into it. It will force you to get back on track, okay? So really paying attention to that. Now, Virgo asks us to release and let go of perfectionism, self-criticism, negative habits, negative routines, things that are blocking you from stepping into your future. So really pay attention to that full moon in Virgo. It will be a very, very important one for all of us. Now let's move on to Mercury. Mercury, as we begin the month, is actually in the energy of Capricorn, and he is going to start February 1st at 23 degrees of Capricorn. On the 5th of February, we'll move into the energy of Aquarius, joining this parade of planets, activating this area of the sky, activating this area of our chart. He will then be in Aquarius from the 5th of February until we get to the 25th. On the 25th, he will move into the zodiac energy of Pisces. Now, as Mercury is in Capricorn, our mind, Mercury being our mind, is thinking on Capricorn themes, long-term goals, vision planning, where are we going, creating foundations, creating structure, creating discipline. So it's been a great energy for us to really tap into creating those goals for 2024, the step-by-step, how are we going to get there? What goals do I want to accomplish? We've been feeling that. But when Mercury goes into Aquarius on the 5th of February, the mind changes. The way that we think changes. Now we're thinking about the future. Now we're trying to envision where we're going, right? Now we are coming up with the problem-solving techniques of how we're going to get there. We're trying to be inventive. We're trying to be unique. Our mind is even more stimulated. There's going to be a lot of intelligent conversations, a lot of asking questions, a lot of trying to find solutions, a lot of trying to move those dreams and goals forward. A super exciting energy. But remember, as Mercury moves into Aquarius, he's going to be running into Pluto. All planets moving into Aquarius this month are going to run into Pluto, and Pluto brings up fears, right? Pluto's the subconscious. Pluto is the depths of things, asking you to die and rebirth something in your life. So a lot of the way that we're thinking, a lot of the problems we're trying to solve, a lot of the future dreams that we think we want may have to die for the new ones to be reborn. And we also may need to address some fears that are coming up about our future. So that's going to happen right around the 5th of the month. When Mercury finally moves into Pisces at the end of the month on the 25th, now our mind is going to go more into the emotional aspect. This is where our intuition gets very heightened, right? Pisces deals with the spiritual world. So at the end of the month, our mind all of a sudden is going to go into faith and belief and trust in the universe, our intuition very heightened. We don't think with the mind, we think with the spiritual body, with our spiny sense, our sixth sense, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of, thought on being artistic, being creative, passion projects. A lot of thoughts are shifting when we get to that point. So that is Mercury's journey this month. Then moving on to Venus, right? As a relational astrologer, it's going to be so important where Venus is because she teaches us how to love. And whatever zodiac energy she's in is the energy in which we are going to love things in our life. So this month, starting out on February 1st, she is going to be in the zodiac energy of Capricorn at 10 degrees of Capricorn. Now, by the 16th, she is going to move into the energy of Aquarius, and she'll be then in Aquarius through the end of the month, moving all the way to 15 degrees of Aquarius. Now, moving into Aquarius on the 16th of the month is right around Valentine's Day. So on the official energy of Valentine's Day, she will be in Capricorn. So how do we love in Capricorn? It's not very lovey-dovey. Venus in Capricorn is looking at love in a very practical, realistic way, right? It's how can we do this together in a grounded, long-term way? It's not dramatic. It's not passionate. It's earth. And so it's how can we achieve goals together? How can we progress together? How can we, do things in a traditional way? So it's not the most loving energy that we're going to be feeling, but it allows us to look at relationships and the things that we love, whether that's our material possessions, money, valuables, all the things that we love. Venus in Capricorn is going to help us say, do we want this for the long term? Is this really important to us? What do we need to change about this? How are we going to get to what we want? If you love, this beautiful Lexus that you want to buy, how are we going to get there, right? Venus in Capricorn is how are we going to get to what we love and how are we going to keep it for the long term? Beautiful in relationships if you're needing, to create some structure or discipline in relationships, if you're needing to set new rules or boundaries in relationships. It's a great energy from February 21st until the 16th. But again, that falls over Valentine's Day, not super mushy lovey. But when Venus moves into Aquarius, we now get into this air energy of how we love, where we get to be a little bit more authentic. We get to be a little bit more unique. This is where maybe we can start loving people in an unconventional way, having more conversations. There's more intellectual stimulation, like we're attracted to the person's mind. This is a great energy for friendships, for communities of people. Venus allowing us to open our hearts and love, different groups, different tribes, being more all-inclusive. So beautiful shift and change in energy as Venus moves into Aquarius. We look at Mars. So Mars is going to be that masculine energy, right? Mars is how we're going to take action, how we're going to make decisions, how we're going to move forward. It's also how we're fighting. It's our aggression. It's our tendency to be the warrior in our life. And so it's very important to understand where Mars is, because that is kind of our fighting style, or how our masculine energy is being expressed. Mars starts out the month at 20 degrees of Capricorn, and he'll be moving into Aquarius on the 12th. So Mars in Capricorn is that same energy as Venus, where it's taking action on long-term goals, making decisions, being disciplined, looking at things in a responsible way, taking responsible action, becoming an authority. It's this very grounded and practical way of getting things done, looking at your to-do list, looking at the year ahead, taking action on, projects that are going to take a really long time, but we're going to get started now. Beautiful energy as we move into February. But then when Mars moves into Aquarius on the 12th, again, he runs into Pluto on the 12th. So that's a very volatile day. Pluto is fear, the ego, power, manipulation, what's hiding under, the earth. It's deep control stuff. And Mars is like the fighter, the toddler, the tantrum thrower, the one that's going to throw daggers, that's going to be aggressive. And so you put this energy together on the 12th and the 13th, it's a very volatile day. Mars and Pluto only meet up about once every 2 years. So it's a very explosive, nuclear, just 0 to 100 hot-headed energy on the 12th and the 13th. Again, not very optimal for Valentine's Day energy, which is why I'm making that separate video to help you navigate that specific day this year. Now, when Mars moves into Aquarius, the things that we're fighting for are Aquarius themes, groups, communities, taking action on inventions or science, or taking action on things that are our truth, our authentic self, projects that we've been working on for a long time, taking action towards our future. So Mars in Aquarius is definitely like a movement, a flow, a forward momentum. It can be a little impulsive and action oriented in the sense that it's explosive, let's do it, let's go, it's time, let's move forward. So an exciting energy for us to feel from the 12th of February till the end of the month. Then let's talk about Jupiter. Jupiter is in Taurus, a conversation we've had most of last year and already into 2024. Jupiter is now direct, fast forward motion, rushing through the energy of Taurus. Super exciting. He'll start out the month at 7 degrees of Taurus and make it all the way till 11 degrees of Taurus. And so he is inching closer and closer and closer to the planet Uranus, right? Uranus also in Taurus. Uranus at currently 19 degrees of Taurus. And these planets from February until April 20th on 4/20 will come conjunct in what we call the lottery aspect. Surprising, unexpected, stroke of luck, opportunity coming out of left field. So much exciting energy as we move through March and April, as that's getting closer and closer. But Jupiter this month in Taurus is asking us and showing us that there is opportunity and there is abundance and there is luck and there is prosperity and there are ways for us to expand ourselves by looking at the Taurus area of our life. So where is Taurus in your birth chart? This is going to be the area of life that Jupiter is going to bless you now that he's out of retrograde and create opportunity and expansion and growth in. So know where Taurus is in your chart. This month, he is going to be kind of helping and assisting this Aquarius area, all these planets in Aquarius, because this is a square. So whatever, things Pluto's dredging up, whatever fights we're getting into, whatever unexpected things, whatever changes for the next 20 years we're having in Aquarius is being supported by Jupiter and saying, but it's for your good. It's a blessing. It's an opportunity. It's an expansion. It's growth. Like, it's going to be amazing. Uranus is also involved in this, where it's sudden, it's unexpected, it's jolting, it's shaking it awake in a fixed sign, Taurus, and the fixed sign of Aquarius, two areas of our life that we don't really like to change. So Jupiter is blessing us with the change, Uranus is forcing the change, and Pluto is asking us to address the fear and to unearth things and allow things to die so we can finally get going on our future. Now, Uranus this month stays at 19 degrees for the entire month. So if you have any planets at 19 degrees or right around there in your chart, heavily, heavily impacted by Uranus, sudden, jolting, unexpected things could be your main energy for the month ahead. So check your chart for that. Now, talking about Saturn, right? Saturn is our tough love dad. So wherever Saturn is in the sky, whatever he's up to, whatever planets he's having conversations with, he's saying, grow up, mature, do the tough thing, right? There might be an obstacle, a challenge, a lesson, something that is coming to you that is forcing you to overcome that hurdle, to grow up and mature and to be responsible, take, disciplined action, be committed. Do the thing that normally you don't want to do. So Saturn is in the energy of Pisces. We've been talking about this since March of last year. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. So make sure you truly understand where Pisces is in your chart. Saturn is hammering you with lessons in this area until 2026. But what about February 2024? What is he up to? Well, he is moving from 6 degrees to 9 degrees of Pisces. This is important because last year, Saturn entered into Pisces at 0 degrees, made it till 7 degrees, and then retrograded back to 0. So on the 12th of February, he is going to officially cross over that 7-degree mark and go into 8 and 9 degrees, new territory, meaning new lessons coming to you, new obstacles coming to you, new challenges coming to you to help you mature and grow and create discipline and structure in the Pisces area of your life, which normally we don't like to have structure in. Pisces is the fish. It's spiritual. It's metaphysical. It's living in la la land. It's escaping this area of your life. And Saturn's coming in and saying, no more, no more. We got to create some structure. This free for all that's happening cannot always be happening. So Saturn this month is also kind of being influenced by what's going on in the sky. So make sure you're having faith, making sure you are not self-sabotaging. Look at your limiting beliefs. Be careful with addictions. Be careful with overspending. Like, all this escapism tendency, Saturn this month is like, hey, we did the retrograde, but new territory, new lessons, new obstacles. Lord Karma, do it and be rewarded. Don't do it, get punished. We don't want that. So Saturn is in new territory. That leads us then to Neptune. Like I said, Neptune this month isn't super active. He's kind of doing his own thing. He's out of retrograde, which means we kind of living in la la land, rose-colored glasses, having faith, trusting that everything's going to work out. So making sure you're kind of acknowledging that, connecting to your spiritual self, aligning with your chakras, your auric field, protecting your energetic boundaries, like all that energetic stuff. Neptune is kind of like, hey, I'm in the background, but like these are important things we can't forget about. And so Neptune this month is only moving from 25 to 26 degrees of Pisces. And then we talk about Pluto. Let's put Pluto up on the chart. We've already highlighted him. He's the main character. Pluto is the man this month because Pluto moved from Capricorn to 0 degrees of Aquarius. And he's saying, hey, I am now going to be the owner of Aquarius for 2 decades. I'm going to be here. And anyone that comes to Aquarius for the next 20 years is going to come into my home. I'm going to be like the primary tenant here. And so this month, he's got some visitors. He's got Mercury visiting. He's got Venus visiting. He's got Mars visiting. The sun is already here. They came in together. And also the moon is going to be visiting. And so as these planets come over and visit, Pluto in Aquarius, Pluto is going to say, all right, what fears do you have? Where do we have to shake things up? What do we have to release? What do we have to let die? Like all these deep, deep things that we have to address. So Pluto is very much a main character. And so, you have any planets in Aquarius at like 0, 1, 2 degrees, they're going to get a little visitation from Pluto this year. So there is that ending, that cycle, the addressing of things below the surface that are going to have to happen for you. And last thing is Chiron. So this is big because Chiron we don't usually talk about, but this month, very, very big energy. Chiron is in the zodiac energy of Aries. He's been here for quite some time. This month, Chiron is moving forward the North Node moves backwards. So Chiron and the North Node will come conjunct. They will run into each other at 16 degrees of Aries. Now, the North Node and Chiron have not met up in the sky since 2008. And when they met up in 2008, they met up at 18 degrees of Aquarius, about that same degree where we're having that new moon in Aquarius on the 9th, which is at 20 degrees. And so this is a full circle moment. So what does Chiron and the North Node meeting up even mean to us? North Node is the destiny. It's moving forward. It's saying, hey, this is where we're going. This is the future. And Chiron is about healing wounds, healing traumas, healing fears, bringing up things to address them and say, hey, this needs healing. You can't shove it down. You can't hide it. This may be old, but we're bringing it up. And when we address it, we heal it, we work on it, the North Node allows us to move forward into our destiny. Now, being in the energy of Aries, this is heat. This is volatility. This is anger issues. This is aggression. These are things about ourselves. We're not healing others. We're not healing relationships. It's about cleaning up your own backyard, that main character energy. So there is so much going on here that is actually going to prep us for the astrological new year, the eclipses that are coming in March and April. So you want to do some healing, especially where Aries is in your chart. So this month will be really good for focusing on yourself. Again, it's not optimal for relationships, especially around Valentine's Day. This is the energy of healing your emotions, healing your mental health, healing your physical body, healing traumas and wounds, maybe from childhood. Aries is the toddler under 7. So looking at your inner child, addressing a lot of those beliefs and things that you hold from a very young age. Oof, super powerful energy. So now that we know where everyone is in the sky, what they're up to, I hope you paid attention to your primary life coach. You mark some of this on your chart. Now, if you have any of these planets crossing over specific placements in your chart and you want help making sense of that, contact me. Let's do a mini reading. Let's look at it. Let's figure out what February has in store for you so you can understand why things are happening and you can make sense of it and then make a decision how you want to move forward. So I love doing that for people. So you can book a mini reading. You can do a full astro forecast reading where we're going to look at the year ahead. Whatever you need, I'm here to help you make sense of it, ultimately, so you can have the best relationship with yourself and with the people around you. Now, that's a lot going on. So of all of the stuff happening in February, what are the top 5 things I find most unique? What are the 5 things as a relational astrologer that I'm paying attention to that I think are very important and super unique to February 2024? Let's get into it. So the first fun fact about February is that we have Chiron crossing the North Node. This is super huge to me. Like I mentioned, this has not happened since 2008. So this is an opportunity for healing. This is an opportunity to move towards our future with less trauma, with less pain, with less discomfort. There is an opportunity, but pay attention. Things might be surfacing this month. Old wounds, old traumas, old triggers, old fears, old worries, old physical, issues. Maybe there's a scar that you've had for a long time and now it's all of a sudden getting inflamed and getting irritated. Maybe it's an autoimmune condition that you've had for a while, but it's been in remission. Now it gets flared. Something comes up. Things can come to the surface at this time. And Aries is fire and inflammation and pain and childhood stuff. So this is a big thing this month I want you to pay attention to. It's literally coming conjunct in the middle of the month. So we're really going to feel it all of February. Speaking of conjunctions, that leads me into the second unique thing about February 2024, and that is the fact that we have 7 conjunctions. 7 potent energies, combining of energies, 2 planets coming together, mixing and blending their perspective, their vibe, their lens, and impacting us here on Earth. And so those 7 are going to be aggressive with Mercury conjunct Pluto, Mars conjunct Pluto, Venus conjunct Pluto. Then we have Saturn involved with the Sun running into Saturn, Mercury running into Saturn, and then we have the North Node and Chiron coming conjunct, and then we have Mars and Venus coming conjunct, which is my third interesting fact for the month of February. The last time these lovers came together in the sky was back in February and March of 2022. So it's been 2 years and they came together in the energy of Capricorn. That was a cycle for the last 2 years in all of our relationships asking us, How committed am I to the long term with this person? Do I want this person in my life forever, right? Capricorn is looking at the future of the long term and how are we going to get there? And so we've really been asking ourselves, what relationships do I want to commit to? Which ones do I want to give more energy to? Which ones do I want to hold on to for a very long time? So it's been a more serious, a more, paternal kind of energy we've had in relationships. And it hasn't been a lot of romance and fun. Now, in February of 2024, Mars and Venus are coming conjunct again, starting a new cycle within our relationships and fusing it with new energy until they meet up again. And this time it's going to be in Aquarius. And I love this because Aquarius is authentic, it is innovative, it's unconventional. It doesn't look like the traditional way of Capricorn. And so now we can see relationships really becoming so out of the box. Those relationships that society was like, "Oh, that is weird. I don't get that," are now becoming normal. And people are having relationships that are authentic to their own desires, whether it's maybe not getting married, maybe being in a throuple, maybe having relationships where they live apart or sleep apart. Like, this is going to be the next 2 year cycle of what the masculine and feminine in relationship is going to look like. And it's starting out this month with their conjunction at the end of February. The fourth interesting thing about the month ahead is the fact that Pluto is the main character. Like I mentioned, Pluto usually doesn't get a whole lot of attention. He moves so slow. He's been in Capricorn for the last 15 years. We know it. We get it. He's doing his thing. But this is the time in the cycle where it's been 15 years in one sign and now he's moving into Aquarius for 20 years. This is the moment in time where that shift, that powerful Pluto pocket of energy moves from one area of our life, Capricorn, to a new area of our life, setting us up for the next 20-year cycle. And that's happening now, this month. And Pluto, like I said, is getting visitation from so many planets. So there's so much energy, so much shift. Also, as this pile up is happening, these planets are then going on to have a square with Uranus in Taurus and Jupiter in Taurus. And so whatever is having to shift and die and be addressed, we're going to have a rebirth and an opportunity for luck and abundance and expansion. But it may come very unexpectedly. It may shake us awake in an area that we don't like to change. And Pluto at the end of February, on the 29th, which is leap year, ends the month at 1 degrees and 11 minutes of Aquarius. 111, an area of the sky he has not been in for over 250 years. So that leads me then to the fifth unique and interesting thing happening in the cosmos in February of 2024. And that is the fact that we end this month with a leap year, the 29th. And in numerology, you take 2 plus 9 and it equals 11. And when we look at 11, it looks like a gate. It looks like a portal for us to walk through, right? A doorway of sorts. And so we move through February, all this chaos with Pluto involved, all the squares with Uranus shaking us awake, the masculine and the feminine coming together in a new energy, all the conjunctions, all the planets being super active this month are going to lead us to the 29th, the final day, with Pluto, the main character, at 111, with an 11, 2 plus 9 portal to walk through a new door, a new beginning, a new chapter as we move into March. And March is going to be powerful with the Aries energy, the astrological new year, shifts and changes. So much to talk about when we get to that month, but put something on your calendar for that leap year. Put something on your calendar that you've been meaning to do, a portal you're ready to step into, a project you're ready to launch, like something big on that day. So that is something I'm super looking forward to and paying attention to that energy. Now let's move on to the date by date breakdown. So go ahead and grab your calendar. Before we do that real quick, I just have 2 announcements that I want to share with you. The first announcement is regarding the Astrology Alchemy Journal. I'm doing a special this month, 20 for 20, meaning I'm giving away 20 hard copies for only $20. Now, the PDF is always available for $20. You can find it in the description box below. Download it right away. But if you want a physical hard copy to journal in, you can also get it for $20. Once I sell out 20 of them, that's it. The price will go back up to $3333. If you don't know what this journal is, again, you can find it in the description box below. I have sample pages you can look at. Essentially, it goes through the new moons, the full moons, the sun seasons, seasons and all the retrogrades of 2024, giving you journal prompts, giving you ritual ideas, helping you understand how to navigate that weather, and also giving you like do's and don'ts and bucket lists and all sorts of ways to navigate the current cosmic weather. So that is the first announcement. Make sure you add yourself to the Facebook group once you get your journal. On the first page under resources, I have the title of our private Facebook group that is only for owners of this journal, where I do more specific rising sign videos, helping you understand the current cosmic weather in a more intimate way. We do rituals together, and I also draw a name of one of our group participants each month to get a free 30-minute session with me. So that is first announcement. The second announcement is for all my lovers. For Valentine's Day, because the current cosmic weather wants to act up and be a fool, I'm going to give you a little treat, and we're going to have a workshop for lovers talking about how to look at your birth chart and the birth chart of your partner and how to have better relationships by understanding your unique energetic placements. So again, in the description box below, you can sign up, join us for that workshop, Astrology for Lovers, in the spirit of Valentine's Day. Now, let's go ahead and do our date by date breakdown. Now, starting out with the first full week of February, what's in the stars from February 4th until February 10th? This is where the energy starts getting electric. This is where things really start ramping up, because on the 5th, Mercury moves into Aquarius. So our mind went from being grounded and serious and disciplined and practical and rational and reasonable, and now our mind is getting a jolt. It is moving into Aquarius, so we are thinking of air. We are being inventive. We want to solve problems. We want to move forward to the future. We want to ask questions. We want intellectual stimulation. It's like the mind went from the earth, and now our mind is going into the clouds, and it is taking us wherever it needs to go, towards our future. But on the 5th, this is where our mind gets a little mind F. Like, you know what I mean? Because Mercury runs into Pluto, and Pluto is about the underworld. It's about secrets. It's about things unrevealed that we need to use our mind to uncover. And so now we start playing detective. Now we need to start investigating. Our mind is now going down a rabbit hole to unearth what we don't already know, to solve a problem, to move towards the future, to make a decision that we will later do when Mars shows up in the following week. But for now, our mind is starting to play detective. And so we want to be careful on the 5th. Now, on the 7th, just 2 days later, Venus, our relationships, what we love, goes into a trine with Uranus. This is supportive, but Uranus throws a curveball. Uranus jolts awake. Uranus creates surprises or revelations or unexpected things in our relationships, in the things that we love, that may stem from now our mind going to the depths, asking questions, revealing secrets, having conversations, really getting to the bottom of things. And that might affect our relationships on the 7th. Now, on the 9th, as we end this week, we have the new moon in Aquarius. Big, big energy, because now the sun and the moon and Mercury and Pluto are all in this Aquarius area of our life. This is also going to be an energy that is square Uranus. So jolting, upsetting, unexpected, liberating, shaking us awake, changing things for the next 20 years of our life. Like, this week is going to be about our mind, uncovering, unearthing things, secrets revealed, shaking up our relationships, giving us information that makes us think differently. And then we have this new beginning. How do we want to move forward? What is the intention we're going to set for the next 20 years? Where are we going with this? So it's got a lot of Uranian lightning bolt left field kind of energy as we kick off the first week of February. So be prepared. Then the second week of February, what's in the stars from February 12th until the 17th? Now we're talking about Valentine's week, and this is volatile. This is just a heated, wild, wild week. And it really piggybacks off the first week of February, where things get shaken up, things get liberated, things get discovered, things get unearthed. Because on the 12th, we then have Mars moving into Aquarius, again, running into Pluto. This is a conjunction that happens about once every 2 years and is hella volatile, because Pluto is power. Pluto is manipulation. Pluto is ego. Pluto is, survival and instinct and going below the surface into the soul of something. And Mars is kind of like a toddler. He's a warrior. He's a fighter. He's, going to throw a tantrum, but he's going to do it in a way that is like, nuclear, just boom, and aggressive and angry and hot, heated. You put this energy together and it is hostile. It is fight to the death. It is instinctual. It is someone's got to win. Who's going to win? It's struggle for power. So on the 12th, we are going to feel this energy. It is not a good time to go on first dates. It is not a good time to really even be around people. Be aware of yourself, your internal need to fight for something, that instinct, that button being pushed, something, deep, deep inside of you that you are like, ugh, just launching forward on. Be very careful on the 12th. You also want to stay away from dangerous circumstances, dangerous situations. Again, you don't want to go on first dates. You don't know what you're getting with the other person. They may be a calm, cool, collected person, but like in this week, they are just a little aggressive. And again, that danger situation with Mars being the warrior with like sharpness and heat and inflammation and intensity. So just like be careful, be present. It's just a volatile day. So just be very careful. And then we have Valentine's Day where that energy is even more potent. Again, I'm going to make a separate video on the Valentine's Day energy. So we'll talk about this Mars Pluto stuff. We'll talk about the Venus Pluto, like everything pretty much in this week. We're going to go way more in depth in, and I'm going to help you navigate your relationships through this potent energy. Then on the 16th, Venus does this dance with Pluto. And that's going to be very important for us because Venus is our relationships. It's what we love. It's who we love. It's how we love. And Pluto, again, is aggressive, is manipulative, is about who has the power. It's about, instincts. And so this is a very hostile day for relationships. This is where Pluto, deals with deep-seated emotions, where loyalty and betrayal issues can come about. Jealousy issues can surface, addictive and compulsive and obsessive tendencies. You may meet someone this week and all of a sudden you are obsessed with them. You know nothing about them, but you can't get them off your mind. It is going to be a very intense energy for relationships and it can get toxic very quickly. So we want to be careful around this time. Also, there's a lot of taboo. Pluto deals kind of with like the taboo under the surface kind of things. But the exciting thing is this creates a big, big shift because by the end of this week, you now have Mars and Venus, the lover, the masculine and the feminine energy within all of us, now being in this unconventional energy of Aquarius, of doing things in an authentic way within our relationships. This kickstarts an energy where now our relationships get to be more how we want them to be, not how society says, not how tradition has always written the rules. It's how we want to do it. So maybe you're married and you live apart, or you sleep apart, or maybe you never want to get married, or maybe you want to have multiple relationships, or maybe, you have different ways of showing up in relationships. This is where we get to be more authentic. And that really begins this week. But whatever hostility, whatever volatility, whatever was showcased, whatever was unearthed, maybe you find out that your partner wants to see other people. Last week when Mercury started playing detective and we had squares and unexpected things from Uranus. And now this week we have this energy of thinking a little bit more unconventionally. We have this energy of saying, hey, okay, what would that look like? We're now more open to it than ever before. So whatever happened the first week of February, it's now going to blow up and force us to re-strategize or replan or rethink what the future is going to look like in a more authentic and unconventional way. Now, we end this week on the 17th with a hot, heated conversation, probably related to what has all come up, because Mercury will be in a square with Uranus. So there's an unexpected message, an unexpected piece of information, an unexpected conversation, something unexpected or surprising or liberating that comes, but it allows you to take the shackles off and be free. And like the truth is revealed once and for all. They said it out loud, something you always knew instinctually. Like, we're going to end this week with such clarity and shift and understanding of where our relationships are headed. But it's not going to come easy. It's not going to come easy. And that then leads us into the third week of February. So what's in the stars from February 18th to the 24th? Things finally get a little bit better because on the 19th, the sun is going to move into the zodiac energy of Pisces. And we love Pisces. It is an emotional water energy. It is spiritual. It is the Jesus-like energy, full of compassion, full of forgiveness, full of I love you because of just who you are on planet Earth as a human. So all of this that has come up, all this aggressive pile up energy in Aquarius that we had to deal with thus far, now the sun is going to help us soften and become more compassionate and more open and more loving. And we get to move into this energy of clearing and releasing and letting go and getting ready for the astrological new year happening in March. So this week we shift now into Pisces, where we are going to rest, retreat, relax, detox, let go of, end things, feel our emotions, let them flood over us. Like, we get really sensitive during this time. So just preparing for that as we move on to the 19th into Pisces sun season. If you have your journal at this time, you want to make sure you look at the bucket list for the Pisces sun season, add some of those things to your calendar. It's It's going to really help you navigate the month ahead for the astrological season of Pisces. Now, on this same day is the day that the North Node and Chiron come conjunct at 16 degrees of Aries. So this is a day for healing, right? Pisces is the spiritual body. It is the healing energy. It's the shaman energy. And now we have this opportunity with Chiron in the North Node on that same day saying, what do we need to heal? What trauma needs to come to the surface to be released? What inner child kind of stuff have you shoved down? What about, your physical body? What, are you kind of letting fester and needs to be addressed once and for all so we can move towards the future? Beautiful, powerful shift of energy and healing possibilities starting on the 19th. Now, I would really kind of take some time around this week to, go to the doctor if you have things coming up. Book yourself a sound bath or energy healing session, or go see your therapist. Like, I would have things on my calendar this week that address my spiritual, mental, or physical body, whatever area is kind of coming up that needs some attention. Then on the 21st, we have Mars and Venus officially coming conjunct in the zodiac energy of Aquarius. This is the day you want to celebrate Valentine's Day. This is the day where the lovers unite, our masculine and feminine energy in relationships. This energy comes into this perfect, beautiful alignment where now we can agree. We can see each other for who we are. We can start this new cycle that, again, is in Aquarius, that is unconventional, that is in our own authentic truth to this specific, unique relationship, and not really caring how society sees it, not caring how the rules say to do it. Beautiful, beautiful energy on the 21st. And it comes after the sun is in Pisces, which allows us to be, again, more forgiving and more compassionate. And this energy is actually going to last for a few days. Like, you're going to feel it from the 21st, the 22nd, the 23rd. There can be a lot of opportunity for intimacy, for passion, for connection. It's like all of a sudden your energies are just like blended. They're connected because the feminine and the masculine are in the same energy. It's like the vibration is aligned and things are in flow again. And it's going to be so welcomed after the month we've had thus far in our relationships. So beautiful energy. It's going to happen at 6, 7, 8 degrees of Aquarius. If you have any planets at that sign, you're going to be more impacted than the rest of us. So let me know in the comments below if you have any planets in that space. And then on the 23rd, Mercury moves into Pisces. So this is beautiful energy as well, because now Mercury, our mind, is moving into this forgiveness energy of Pisces. Now, this also is where our mind shifts from that, processing that we do, the asking questions, the understanding, coming to conclusions. It shifts us out of our mind and into our intuition, because Pisces deals with the ethereal. It deals with the unseen. And so now it's like, logically, I'm thinking this, but my soul, my intuition is telling me that. So for this season with Mercury now in Pisces, we're going to be like feeling things out. We're going to be, trusting our gut. We're going to have that sixth sense about things and kind of put our mind to the side. Now, what we want to do with our mind at this point is meditate, journal, pay attention to dreams, because our mind is going to be more in the ethereal world. So we want to do things that are more like calming and soothing and healing to the mind and letting our intuition take over. So relaxing the thought process, not stimulating yourself. We're going back to the healing spaces. So maybe you're having a lot of conversations that are healing, talking to your therapist, journaling about different things to heal. And you become a little bit more sensitive and emotional around that season. So like I said, this week we're softening. We're very, very softening. Now we get to the 24th. And we have that full moon. So we have the full moon in Virgo on the 24th ending this week. That is going to be a moon where the sun is in Pisces, where we're healing. We're looking at higher perspectives. We're looking at our limiting beliefs, our self-sabotage, all that subconscious programming. Virgo is asking us to create better habits, to have routines, to have structure. And so at this time, we're breaking away from anything that is blocking us, preventing us from being our higher self. Make sure you come back and watch the video on that full moon, because Saturn is going to be activated at that time, and Saturn is our tough love dad. So there's going to be some lessons and obstacles that are thrown our way that highlight what habit and behavior has to go once and for all. And that leads us then into the ending of the month, where things get a little juicy, things get a little better. We can get our hopes high again. So what's in the star from February 25th until March 1st? Well, we start out this week on the 25th with Venus squaring Jupiter. Now, this is a beautiful day that we can kind of take things to extremes. So we do want to be a little cautious, but Venus is what we love, who we love in our relationships. And Jupiter is blessing, expansion, growth, abundance, prosperity, right? These are the benefic planets. And when they're having a conversation in the sky, they are amplifying, they are helping each other magnetize things and opportunities into our life. And so on the 25th, your relationships might get this boost. They might feel a little prosperous again. Things might be feeling good again, but we don't want to take it to extremes. So this is a day we want to be aware of. You don't want to have too much sugar. You don't want to have too much alcohol. You don't want to overindulge in your relationship, make them your whole world. You don't want to say yes, to a relationship that's still so new and so fresh. You just want to take things a little cautious, but it's such a beautiful day for things expanding and growing and blessing and all the things that we love. So it could be money, it could be material possessions, it could be relationships, it could be creative projects. Just don't allow it to go to the extreme. And then on the 27th, Mars is going to come in that square with Jupiter. So this is where we want to be a little careful because Mars, again, is the warrior. He fights for things. He can be a little aggressive, and Jupiter can amplify that, right? But you might have some strong beliefs you need to share. There's maybe, a larger than normal decision that needs to be made, right? Mars takes action. He makes decisions. There could be some financial things that are kind of coming up because Jupiter is in Taurus. So maybe a decision to make around money. Beware of like aggressive fights that kind of go to the extreme for no specific reason in relationships. And also a lot of these decisions that we're making have to go on faith, belief. What are your beliefs? What are your values? Because that is what Jupiter is teaching us. And then we get to the 28th. The 28th is a big, big day because on that day we have Saturn, the Sun, and Mercury all conjunct, a triple conjunction in the energy of Pisces. Anytime Saturn is involved, there's lessons, there's obstacles, there's challenges. He's saying, hey, you got to be mature, you got to be responsible, you got to do the tough thing that you don't normally want to do, but it's time to step in and grow. And the Sun is going to highlight that tough decision. The Sun is going to say, hey, we can't look away. This is all we're seeing. It shines that energy in one direct spot. And Mercury is our mind. And so it's like we have to ask questions and we have to make decisions and we have to think about it. Our mind is on this problem that we need to address. And so we're ending the month with this problem that we have seen, the thing that has come up, the shift that has taken place. And we now got to do the tough thing. We're going to end the month with doing the tough thing. And that leads us then to the 29th. Leap year, big, big, powerful day. I want you to take this day, mark it on your calendar. I want you to do the brave thing. I want you to do the thing that you've been meaning to do for a very long time. Leap year being on the 29th, 2 plus 9, 11. 11 is that portal. We're going to walk through that gate. We're going to walk through that portal. We're going to walk through that door. We're going to go right through the middle on this day that is gifted to us in 2024, February of this year. And we are going to do the thing that is going to set us up for the next 20 years of our life, right? So beautiful energy. That is how we're ending the month. Let's move into the rising signs. I'm going to help you in this rising sign portion understand what relationships in your life may be most impacted based on where Aquarius falls in your chart. Because remember, we're going to have Venus, Mars, Mercury, Pluto, the Sun, and that new moon in Aquarius, all active in Aquarius. So really addressing the areas in the specific area of your life. Let's get into it, starting out with Aries Risings. Aries Risings, this Aquarius area of life for you is in the 11th house. So these are the relationships of friendship, community, tribe. You are getting a lot of attention in this area of your life and saying, hey, who are my people? Do I associate with these people based out of necessity, out of, desire? Do I need to find new communities? There is like friendships that may be falling apart, tough conversations in friendships. Maybe it's a social group or a volunteer group or an activity group, a hobby, people you hang out with that, there's hostility, there are arguments, there are secrets being revealed, there are conversations that are uncomfortable. But ultimately, Venus is going to be asking you to, how can we make this area of life more pleasurable? Maybe you haven't had friends in a really long time, and now you're being forced to go out and get into new friendship groups and to put yourself out there and get over that fear with Pluto being in there. Maybe the new moon is bringing new communities or new tribes or new friends into your life. And you have to ask yourself, are these the kind of people I want to be around? Are they good for me? Are they going to help me get to my future, my goals, my dreams, my visions? How do they support me? So Aries Risings, a lot of friendship stuff going on for you this month. Taurus Risings, this is going to put Aries in your 10th house. Big, big house for you because this is the area of life of your career. And so this whole month is going to be really impacting you and asking you, what about your career? People in your career sector. This could be other professionals in your career. This could be your bosses. This could be your coworkers. This is people that pay you, based on your title, based on your reputation. Your career area is getting this attention and asking you to overcome some fears, make decisions with Mars, asking you how can we make it more pleasurable, having tough conversations, addressing this area of life. So any relationship tied to your career in any capacity is going to be impacted this month. And you're going to have to make a decision of who is supporting you in your career and, what questions do you need to ask and how do you need to move forward. So pay attention to that. Gemini risings, this is going to put Aquarius in your ninth house. So these are relationships that are tied to people that you consider mentors, people that help you expand, people that you are surrounding yourself with that take you out of your comfort zone, that allow you to be your authentic self. This could deal a lot with people that you share similar values or belief systems with. So these could be people in your spiritual group, your religious organization. These could be mentors, people whose beliefs or wisdom or knowledge is something you look up to, people you travel with. So these relationships may be heavily impacted. Maybe there's mentors or people in your life that you just are seeing the truth about. Maybe you're in a religious group and all of a sudden you're realizing secrets are being revealed, or you're in a spiritual group and you're realizing their beliefs don't align with your beliefs. So there's a lot of shifts and changes in your relationships because you're recognizing that your beliefs don't align with their beliefs, or maybe their wisdom or knowledge that you once appreciated isn't really valuable to you anymore. So be careful in all your relationships when it comes to aligning yourself with people in the same philosophy or way of viewing life, in the way that you are now shifting and changing into a new way of believing and seeing life. Cancer risings, this is going to put Aquarius, this main area that's being impacted in your life, in the eighth house. This is all about joint finances. This is about money tied to other people. So this is going to be money like debts, inheritances, loans, people that owe you money, your partner's money, people that, resources or money benefits you in some way, like clients, stock investments, anything that is tied to another person in an intimate way. It's going to be highlighted. So you just want to be very careful because Pluto is going to bring up some secrets. Pluto is going to reveal some things, and Mars is going to make you take action on how that power and how that control is happening with money and resources and energy tied to another person. Venus is going to ask you to say, do I still value this, or do I find it beautiful? Do I want to pay off this loan? There's some abundance that could come, towards the end of the month with Jupiter kind of impacting this. So just pay attention to power dynamics and energy within partnerships or connections to other people when it's tied to actual resources or money. This could get a big, big shakeup for you this month, Cancer risings. Leo risings, this puts this Aquarius energy, this shift, this powerful dynamic that we've been talking about today in your seventh house of relationships. So a lot of shakeups in your most intimate connections. This is marriage. This is long-term partnerships, collaborations, business partners, deep, intimate friendships, like people in your life that you have like a deep, deep we connection with. Pluto is asking you to shift this the next 20 years. There might be some, changes, massive changes in this area of life, how you show up in relationships, the type of relationships that you want. Mars is forcing you to make decisions in this area of your life once and for all. Venus is coming in to say, hey, if we're going to keep these people around, you better make my life beautiful. You better make it pleasurable. And if you don't, how are we going to change that? What are we going to do about it? Mercury coming in is going to have you have so many conversations in your intimate relationships, and they may reveal some secrets. There might be some ego conversations. There might be some power struggles. There might be some aggressive fights in your most intimate relationships, your marriage, business partners. So be very, very careful this month. But with that new moon, set a new intention. What kind of energy do you want to infuse into the we areas of your life? Virgo risings, that's going to put Aquarius in your sixth house. So this is your area of life of health and wellness, your daily routines, your day-to-day habits. So the people that you surround yourself with, that you interact with every single day, those are the people and the relationships that are going to be heavily impacted. So these are your coworkers, the people that you work side by side with. These are, the people in your life, like your therapist, your personal trainer, people that help you with improving your habits, your lifestyle, your routine. It could be even like the people that you live at home with, people that you're interacting with to accomplish things in your day to day. So be careful, because these are the relationships that are going to shift and twist, and you're going to have to make decisions and change. Like, are you going to realize that your personal trainer isn't really helping you and you need a new one? Maybe your coworkers, there's a lot of hostility, there's a lot of aggressiveness, there's a lot of things being revealed, people being deceiving, a lot of loyalty stuff coming up with Pluto showing up here. So lots of shifts and changes in the relationships that you just kind of like every day, they're just how they are. And it's forcing you to change, that kind of environment with the people that you're going to have to deal with every single day. Libra risings, this puts Aquarius in your 5th house. So we're dealing with all the relationships in your life that people you have fun with or your children. So we are looking at, people that you have hobbies with, that you play sports with. We're looking at people that you go to like, shows or musicals or concerts with. We're looking at the dynamic you have with your own children, maybe your nieces and nephews. Maybe you have a profession where you work with children. These are the kind of relationships that are going to be affected this month, right? So Pluto is going to bring up some secrets. Pluto is going to be asking you to shift the way in which you interact with these people in your life. Mars, you might be making some decisions and recognizing, hey, I don't have fun with these people anymore. They don't bring joy into my life anymore. Venus is saying, but who does? And how do we find those people, right? Maybe it's with your own children, changing the dynamic in your household, or how you parent, or how you interact with your children. Mercury, is going to be your mind in this area of life, asking questions, connecting, having more than normal conversations with your children, revealing some secrets about your children could come up. So make sure that you're really paying attention to the people in your life that you have fun with. If you're dating someone, it could also be affecting this type of relationship, the romantic side of relationships. So heavily impacted for you, Libra rising. Scorpio risings, this is going to be a tough month for you. And I'm a Scorpio rising, so I'm right there with you, because our ruling planets are Pluto and Mars. And Pluto and Mars come conjunct in the sky once every 2 years. And it just so happens to be in February of 2024 in the zodiac energy of Aquarius. Okay. So we want to be really careful this month, because Aquarius is asking us to innovate, to look at our future, to solve problems, to think outside the box, to be unconventional, and to step into our authentic truth. And Aquarius lands in our 4th house of home and family. And so we are going to have a lot of shifts, a lot of changes, a lot of conversations, a lot of decisions to be made within our home, within our household, within our family units. Now, this is the family you're born into or the family you've now created. This could be friends that are like family. Where are we going to live? What is our home going to look like? Who's going to live with us? Are we moving? Are we buying property? Like, all this stuff is going to come up this month, and it might be shocking. It might be unexpected. Uranus is kind of liberating and shaking us up and saying, hey, is this really what we want? So a lot of attention on the home life and the relationships we have in connection to where we live. So be very, very cautious with that. Scorpio risings, it's going to be an intense month for us. Sagittarius risings, this puts Aquarius and all this potent, powerful energy in your 3rd house. So this is the mental space. There's going to be a lot of shifts and changes in the way that you think, the way that you learn, what you want to learn about, what you want to talk about. There could be some unexpected opportunities to share your wisdom, to share your knowledge, to read new information, to speak new information, to educate people in a new way. There's just a lot of mental stuff going on for you this month. So especially with Pluto being here, unearthing things, there might be a lot of things in your mind that like get pieced together, a lot of information that you've had that all of a sudden you kind of like, connect the dots and go, oh my gosh, this is the thing, revelations of sorts. There might be secrets revealed in conversations you're having with other people, making decisions around, if you're a teacher, if you're a mentor, if you're a writer, an author, a speaker, a blogger, maybe you have a job where you teach others. There's some decisions to be made about that with Mars showing up here. So big area of life and relationships connected to sharing and communicating and expressing things. Also dealing with siblings. This is a big month for you in regards to conversations with siblings. Fights with siblings may erupt. And people in your local area, your neighbors, you might have fights with your neighbors. So be careful of that. Or people that you rely on for transportation or you connect with when it comes to moving through your life. So people you ride share with, people on the bus, while you're carpooling, maybe you're in the car with a significant other and there's some kind of hostility because you share a vehicle together. So just be cautious with those relationships this month. Capricorn risings, this puts Aquarius in your second house. So this is a money month for you. This is your income, your budget, your material possessions, and a lot of shakeups with all these planets visiting this area of your life. So the sun is here heating up your income sector. So right now, the focus and the attention is on your money, on your budget. What do you want to buy? Mercury is going to show up and intensify that, questions, researching, analyzing your budget, lots of mental stuff. And Pluto is unearthing things, revealing things. Maybe you realize you've been paying for a subscription that you didn't mean to. Maybe there's some money fears coming up that need to be addressed. Secrets coming up around your money. Maybe you discover that you've had money in a certain spot and haven't been capitalizing on it. Lots of money stuff coming up in relationships tied to money. So this could be your career. This could be people that pay you money, people that benefit you financially in some way, people that you have to partner with in order to gain wealth or assets or resources through. Maybe it's the person at the car dealership because you're trying to, buy a new car. Maybe you're trying to purchase something and you've been back and forth with somebody on it. Those relationships could get a little aggressive, could get a little volatile. You maybe find out they've been withholding information from you. There's a secret revealed. Maybe they didn't disclose something. Lots of things connected and tied to money for you this month. Aquarius risings, this energy this month is all about you in your first house. So the relationship that only matters this month is when you have with yourself. But that can be very challenging this month because we're looking at ourselves. We're looking at our avatar, our identity, who we are, how we want to show up in the world. And we may reveal some things about ourselves. We might find out we have a bigger ego than necessary. We may be making some decisions about the way that we look and changing our identity. We maybe cut our hair, change our clothes, do some identity stuff, identity work. But we're very magnetic this month with Venus being here. So this month for you isn't really connected to a whole lot of outside relationships. It's more about working on yourself and figuring out who you want to be and really connecting with yourself so that you can show up in the next month in the way that you truly desire and how you truly want to. My Pisces risings, this is going to put Aquarius and all this energy in your 12th house. So we are looking at the area of life that is connected to your spirituality. This is your energetic body. This is your own worst enemy. This is your mind. This is your limiting beliefs. So this month, we are not going to focus attention and energy outward. We are going to rest. We are going to retreat. We are going to go inward. We are going to look at our self-sabotage. We are going to look at our auras. We're going to look at our chakras. There is a lot of things being revealed to us that deals with our connection to the divine, our spiritual beliefs, our spiritual practices. So I don't want you to focus too much on what's going on in the external world. I want you to go within and rest and retreat. Big month for you to do that, Pisces. So what a month do we have ahead? Buckle up for it. There's a lot of volatility, a lot of shifts and changes, especially in our relationships. So make sure that you come back to this video throughout the month as a reminder, as a refresher. You can go back to the timestamps. Please, if you have your journal, fill out those journal prompts. They are meant to guide you through the month to tap into what you may be experiencing, helping you navigate it, make decisions, and move forward. If you enjoy my content, if you want to learn more about relational astrology and how to have better relationships by tapping into the cosmic weather, please subscribe. Let me know in the comments below how the month is showing up for you in relationships. I would love to see you at the Valentine's Day workshop, Astrology for Lovers, so I can help you understand your chart and the chart of your partner. And until then, I'm going to send you so much love, so much light as you navigate February, and I will catch you in the next video.